Welcome back to Commerce and Food and Travel.
Have you ever wondered exactly what's inside our van? Well, stick around and we can not only show you what's inside and what it does, but we can also show you something that you'll never find in a van of this size. Coming up. Alright, now this is the front of our van. There's not too much going on up here, but we'll just show you basically what's going on here. We've got a little fire extinguisher for safety here in the corner. And it's only a manual vehicle, so we have to change gears all the time and use the clutch, but that's okay. We've got a reversing camera built into this mirror here, and beside it is the microphone for the stereo, and we can talk into that. Okay, we've got our mascot, Watchy the Wombat, who travels with us and watches everywhere. He's watching everything, that's why he's Watchy. And this is just our phone cradle, which stays there. It connects onto here, which is the USB. It's also wireless, so you just slide it in and it charges wirelessly, but it doesn't really work so well, the antenna part of it, but it still uses good for charging and for holding it in position. And the USB chargers there's about 4 of them that we have in the front there, and we also have a curtain which it does 2 things. When the air conditioning's on, it keeps the air conditioning in the front, and so the front is nice and cool. But when we're stopped, it also stops the heat, and we usually orientate the vehicle to the north so that the sun comes in here, and that helps us because if we want to dry our towels in the daytime, we just put our towels along here and it heats up like an oven in here. But we don't want that heat coming into the back. For 2 reasons: we want to dry our towels, and we also stop the heat from coming into the back where we are. So that's why we have this curtain here. It's really good to have that curtain. So that's pretty much in the front here. So we'll come and show you the really good interesting stuff in the back.
So we're inside the van, guys, and then I'm gonna show you first this table. This is high and low.
Good.
And this is our chair inside. This is a folding folding chair.
Yeah, a little stool.
Yeah, and then just make it like that. And
Good.
you can set it and looking the view from the window.
Okay, good.
So, and the next I'm gonna show you is our storage.
Okay.
We have a plenty of space there inside, so we stock our stuff in there. And then we have this another storage here, and we have a mirror.
Good.
And then we have another storage down there, and that's my clothes I store there.
Good.
And this is our mirror.
Full length?
Yeah, it's full length. And then you can see your head and foot.
Good.
And then this is the shower, guys. And of course, if you shower, you put the curtain on it and open it. And we have a light. This is LED light.
Good.
And we have a hot and cold shower. And you can turn in. And we have a toilet here. This is only number 1. You can use this. And then this is the flush.
Good.
Yeah.
Never number 2, hey?
Yeah, never number 2. And then
Where does it drain to?
so the water's drained here in the hall, and we have we're fully
Self-contained?
yeah, well, self-contained.
Yep.
So we don't worry to throw the grey water outside, you know.
Yeah, we keep it here for ourselves, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to the back so we can show you the rest.
Yeah. Okay, now working our way to the back, this is our kitchen, okay? But before we get into the kitchen, one thing that we don't have a proper extraction fan that you might see in a motorhome. You'll see some, they have a really big fan and maybe a skylight that goes with the fan. It extracts the air really well. I'll show you how we get around that a bit later, but that's one thing we don't. Now the reason we don't have that is because we've got the boat at the back and it takes up a little bit more height on the roof, so we don't have that sort of real estate on the roof for that that height, so we don't have that. What we do have is this small extraction fan here. which we installed. We can have it on low, which is quiet, or high, which is a little bit louder. And that extracts any hot air from cooking which might be sitting, and it takes it out, but it doesn't cool it down very well. So we'll get to that, how we get around it. So this is our kitchen. Okay, our range hood, which also has another little extraction fan for the range hood, and plenty of light, 2 LED lights. It was halogen lights there before, so we've installed LED there now, so it saves a lot more electricity. Before we used to really struggle with electricity, but now we've got plenty of power. So this is our stove, just a gas stove. We've got a single gas bottle out there, and both of them work really nicely. And just some drawers, the usual drawers for kitchen that you might expect. Yeah, this is where we live. This is how, and you've seen this cupboard before with the lights and things, so the lights come on automatically. That was great install, wasn't it? We have all these regular things you might expect in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
It's all packed up really well. Susan did all that packing, didn't you, sweetie?
Yeah, that's my kitchen stuff there.
Right. Okay, now, and this is our sink. We have hot and cold water there. Plenty of pressure there for you. That's our little sink. No dramas. And working our way. Now, these are the switches for the pump. That turns the pump on and off. Don't leave that on when you're driving, hey? And this turns on the water heater. So the water heater's going now. That little light was just the ignition light, so it's heating up the water now, but we don't need that on. And we'll work our way down, and let's show the bed, sweetie. Do you want to show them the bed?
Okay.
All right, so this is our bed. Now, it's not a very big bed, but it's just big enough for us. You might notice that my head is almost hitting the roof. Well, it's sort of the same with the bed. I have to lie diagonal, but it's just as well. Susan's really small. So come in the corner here, sweetie. Now, we have 2 LED lights here, and originally it was just on and off, and it was just high like that and off, but we changed it to a 3-way switch and installed a resistor so that it could be low and high, because sometimes you don't want it really high and bright like that. And we've installed 2 there. We didn't have these sort of lights before we replaced them because the other ones were getting in the way, and they're much better and they're flush like that, so we made those like that. We also have the interior light bar here. You can see that one coming off. It's also controllable. You can see it going high and low, and same thing for the light outside. There's a security light there. That's about the extent. That's about the extent of the security that we'll show you here. So if you want to swap around over there, sweetie. Now, moving over this side, we have a switch here. We have switch for mains if we go to a caravan park, or off in the middle, and inverter if we want to use the inverter. Now, if we're not connected to a caravan park or mains power, we can use the inverter, and there's a 2000 watt inverter which will run up to 2000 watts through the 240 volt outlet. Okay, so we use that all the time, but we're not using it in a moment. I'll just switch that off. This is just the battery monitor, which we have a little shunt connected in down there, and this is the solar charge controller. Okay, this is security stuff here. We won't show you any security stuff, but we've got a lot of security measures that we have in place that we won't put online. Now, this is just a little fan that we have. It only uses about 0.3 of an amp, which is stuff all power there. And it's really important not to use too much power with a fan, okay? We also have the big Ryobi. Now, this we use all the time because, remember, we don't have that extraction fan. So this is our Ryobi fan, and we use it on one side or the other, depending on which side the wind is blowing. We just check which side. Now, I can tell right now that the wind is blowing in, so I'm not going to hook it up to this window to use it. But if it was coming from the other side, I can hook it up and it'll blow hot air directly outside. But because the wind's coming inside this way, I won't use the fan on that side. I will just, if I was going to use it on there like that, and I can put on number 2 to extract the hot air out here really quickly. And it cools it down. If you go cooking, you turn this thing on, and within about 5 minutes, the whole place is nice and cool. As long as outside's cool as well, right? Okay, so that's and that's easily stores back where it came from. That stays where it is. There's another little cradle here, just like the front, in front of the van, and we've got plenty of USB chargers here to use. There's about 5 of them. This is a white one, just like the black one in the front. They're both the same. We've got an antenna control here, and Selfie Go. I think it only works with phone because we weren't having too much success with the data, were we, sweetie?
Yeah.
Okay, another 240 volt outlet there, and where are we up to? Oh yeah, storage space. We've got plenty of storage space. There's 6 cupboards going across the top there. Okay, and how could you have an RV without air conditioning? This is our air conditioning isolator. We run the aircon, which is reverse cycle. And come over here for the fridge, sweetie. So I'll just show you the fridge. We've got a pretty big fridge here for a motorhome. You'll see this motorhome is only tiny, but it has a very big fridge. Okay, so you can see the size of the fridge there. It's all the way up to here on me. Okay, and it does have a freezer inside, which is totally separate, and it keeps things rock solid hard there. Ice creams we even have too, but we just got to have it on the right setting.
Yeah.
We do get a lot of flies in here if we don't have the curtains down, so we can pull this down. We've got a full fly screen which covers the side door and at the back. There's another one at the back that you can't see. It's folded behind the cupboards. And we have a light bar which goes across the kitchen bench here. So if we want to do any preparing of your food on the kitchen bench here, we have. Now we also have another little cupboard in here which we keep a whole bunch of stuff. Now before we get into there, under the bed we also have, yes, we've explained where we have the inverter. We've also got 2 chargers. One's a 40 amp charger, and the other's just a 5 amp charger. The 5 amp's a little bit quieter. We've also got a capacitor which doesn't do much. We also have DC to DC chargers and a whole bunch of fuses down there. We won't show it to you, it's a little bit embarrassing, but it's all very insulated. It's just not as fused as well as we'd like it. And the windows, all of the windows have the little Velcro things on there to block out the light if you don't want the light to come in, or if you don't want anyone to see it. And it really easily just folds up there into itself.
Yeah.
Just like that, hey. So it comes down like that. And now in here, this is the surprise of what we have in the van of this size. I've seen vans with these before, but not of this size. This is this very small van, and this is what we have built into it. A fully operational washing machine. Now we can wash all of our clothes in here. We can do it at a caravan park. We can do it remotely with the inverter. We can dry our clothes and make a little spider web up at the front with our own little clothesline and dry our clothes just like we do with our towels, or we can run it with the trees outside and dry our clothes like that. But we have a fully operational washing machine. We just need water, which we always have access to. And we hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see, if you like this video to see inside our van, subscribe and we'll make a video and show you outside our van. So I hope you really enjoyed it.